Hello, random live streams, random, spontaneous. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're all right. How we doing? Staying sane, staying compass mentis, not losing it, I hope. Sure hope we're not losing it. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. Hello there. Hello. Oh, we've got people in. Have we got people in? No comments as of yet, but we've got two people in. Yes. How you doing? Oh, that's jumped. My bloody God, what happened there? Pardon my French. Welcome along. Yes. Neil Crafty Cockney 66W. Yes, Mac 66. How you doing? Friday? It's a windy Friday here, but it's Friday. The bars are open for what? Best part of 6 hours. It's Friday. Yes. So you got to go for it, haven't you, when you can. Thank you for jumping on, guys. Much appreciated. Even if you're watching retrospectively, I always say this. Thank you for taking the time out to watch one of these uninteresting streams when life is so much more interesting, isn't it? My bloody God. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you're doing okay. Hope your families are blessed. And I hope you're still managing to find a little glimmer of prosperity somewhere. A little bit of happiness somewhere. A little bit of joy in a fucking cupboard somewhere. Pardon my French. You know what I mean? Cheese and bread. So, guys, I'm going to jump on to... Where are we at? Big thanks to... Well, I've not really been in tune, if I'm going to be honest with you. I've not really been in tune in terms of the videos over the past few days. This is the door. Hello. All right. Well, I'm actually live, babe. Oh, don't you love it? Told you, spontaneous streams, you get spontaneous shizzle happen. My daughter just come in. She wanted to give me a kiss, but she needed the toilet more. And I just told her I was live. The usual stuff. What do you do with that? You know what I mean? Don't it count after midnight, start again? You may, you know what I mean? Go for it. Go for it, either. You don't want to know what's in this. This should have skull and crossbones on it. That's all I'm going to say to you, all right? I'll talk about that a little bit later. Thank you to everyone. This is Red Pill Phil on YouTube.
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Oh, goddamn hacker, that second damn night that asshole's cut in.
Say word now. Yes. So like I was saying, I've not really been engaged. I'll be honest with you. Be totally honest. My head's not been on YouTube for the past week. It's been on making music. Freaking sweet music. It started when I was coming back from Katie Jane's event in Swinton. I passed through Manchester Town Centre and I bumped into a guy called Des Nez. Now, if you remember, Des Nez was the one who sung the song, "You Can Stick Your New World Order Up Your Ass." And I really wanted to catch up with him because that song was brilliant. And I wanted to, you know, get a little hint of what was going on in his mind. And we had a really good chat. And I asked him there and then, would it be all right? I'm a DJ, you know, I'm semi-proficient with bits of equipment. Can I have a bit of a tinkle with your tune? So he's like, no problem. I went home, looked at the interview, looked at all the other bits of footage that I took of Katie's event, uploaded that, uploaded his interview, and then I got to the tune. I thought, right, okay, let's have a bit of it. So I did. Manic Mank remix, got in there, and it was a nice little funky little cut. And normally, because I do YouTube, as people know, anyone who's a creator, they'll know how consuming it is. It takes up a hell of a lot of time, even deriving of content, never mind putting it together. So my decks and my music tend to take a sidestep, really, because just busy, too many hours in the day, you know what I mean? I want to keep a sort of a continuum in terms of regular postings. Don't have to be every day because I haven't got the time for that. I have to work, I have family, but I don't want it to have too large of a gap. I just don't. There's so much I want to say and blah, blah, blah. There's so many stories. There's only so much you can cover at one time. So you end up having to leave 99% of it. It's crazy what is going on. There's not enough hours in the day. So because of it, like I say, the decks take a step back. And I thought, no, I've done this remix, that Des Nez, stick your new world order up your ass. And it gave me a little taste, whet my appetite a little bit. So I jumped back in and I started messing about with a few things, getting a few sounds together and collating it. And I've not been anywhere near making any videos all week. I've not looked at any videos. I've not done too much research. I've not really looked on stories external of me bleeding headphones. I have been so locked down onto this, and it's not going to stop there because once I finish this stream, I've got another beat I want to kind of knock down and get sorted by the end of this weekend because I want to then start getting back onto uploading some other stuff, YouTube videos. So yeah, that's been my situation at the moment, and it's been enjoyable, very enjoyable. Yes. No, mate. Am I going to London this weekend? No, mate. I won't be. Unfortunately, I have got work. I've not since I've been able to get back to work from the lockdown. I've not worked a single weekend. A few of the weekends is because technically they wasn't allowing weekend work, but they have been doing it for several weeks. And the plot I'm in now, there's a little bit of a rush on, so it means I have to sacrifice going out and about with my YouTube really this weekend. I might be out doing something next weekend. I'm not sure yet, but yes, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, it's passion. I just love what I'm doing, and I'm glad it's being reciprocated. Yes, Flying Free. How we doing, sir or madam? Hope we're doing all right. Yes. Oh, wicked. Good. What? Good time to take a break, bud. Been focusing on my art, staying away from. Yes. Well done, Rob. Well done. Because you know what? You can almost it can almost be detrimental. You staying in the game, thinking you're making. And I'm not saying I took myself out of it because of that, but I'm just saying I feel sweet as a nut. Gonna go back, get a couple of drinks tonight, my skull and crossbones, get my headphones on, and it's gonna be therapeutic. So, like Rob's saying, if art is what Rob really gets and digs, then he will have the same escapism thoughts as I will when I'm on this. And it is clarity for the mind, it's clarity for the soul, and it's injecting positivity instead of staying online where at this moment in time, all I'm seeing pretty much is negativity. And that's not so much the actual system or the failings to a large degree within the system. I'm talking about people's reactions. I'm talking about everyday proletariat, whether they be YouTubers, whether they be people who subscribe to YouTube. So I'm just watching people's reactions, and it's like, what? Being in that is hardly conducive if you are to serve your subscribers well. Your subscribers subscribe to you because I guess we're all want questions answering. We all want to see something positive that's going on in the world. We all want news, but there's a way of delivering it. And I think a lot of people they've drunk their own Kool-Aid and they're reacting off it madly. And it's not about naming names and calling people out. I couldn't really give two flying Donald Ducks about any of them. Although, what I will say is the big impact is watching the effects it will inevitably have on subscribers, on people watching the streams, on people then taking their own side on that own little redress stroke frigging fishwife argument that is now online, and then taking that online to other people. And you think all that is doing is making this overall fight literally eat itself. And it's ugly to watch, it's ugly to see. And when you see good people become a victim of it, that is when it's not good. That is when it's not good. But I tell you what, though, I have got to give massive respect to two ladies. This is going to be a longer stream. Yes, Denise. Yeah, please that you have work, Phil. We all need to. Yeah, I know, mate. Wife needs clothes, baby needs shoes in it. You know what I mean? But two ladies I've watched and I'm very impressed with. I think both ladies I spoke about before, at least one of them I have. One lady called Jupiter, and I'm not sure of the other lady's name, and I do apologize because what your contribution from what I seen was just as important as what Jupiter's was. It's only because I know Jupiter because I did speak to Jupiter on a previous stream a couple of weeks ago. We had a brilliant chat, and I did threaten that I'm going to drag her onto this one of my streams, kicking and screaming, because I want to know more about this lady. Very bleeding interesting, to say the least. But that aside, I seen Jupiter and another lady that was, I wouldn't say modding, they were refereeing what was supposed to be a debate, but turned out to be nothing but childish verbal slaps backwards and forwards. Pretty stupid. And to think that these were grown adults, it was pretty embarrassing to watch. And to think that these people so-called call themselves activists, it makes it even more embarrassing when you're witnessing people literally losing it online and then trying to get cheap little points to make their subbers think that they're in the right for doing some stupid shit. So I'm watching all this from various streams, kicking off. This one's kicking off to that one, so that one will have a dig at him, he'll have a dig at him, and it's just going round in this fucking cesspool circular shit. Pardon my French, right? So I'm in the time of my life, buzzing, and I'm looking at this fucking man. This has got to be effective. I see these two women, right? Come on. And off topic, they run it. They run it. They come in there and they weren't taking any crap. They probably had a little bit of bias. I'm not going to deny that from what I could see. But they were fair. And they give out verbal slaps equally when needed. And I thought, you know what? That's needed more in this. There's too many people who do lives and they just run ragged with the gob. They run ragged with their ego. And they think they've every right to lose the shit online and not fear any consequences or backlashes, or not realize the negative and low vibration you're sending to each and every one of your subbers and the people that you're probably having a piece of as well. So it's like a never-ending story. And I've got to say, I was engrossed, not with the stream itself, because it was a childish stream that should never really took place, but for these two ladies, for pulling it together and making sure that this shit show didn't get even more shitter, pardon my French. So I've got to give Jupiter and this other lady full respect. And I'll say it again, if Jupiter's listening or if anyone knows of Jupiter, please tell her to reach out to me. Ask her if she would like to come on this stream. I would love to have a chat with her. Amazing lady. Yeah. 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 Okay, that's just a general comment. Well, as we know, guys, these are the most interesting times that most of us has ever faced in our life, unless you were around when the Blitz was going on. You know what I mean? I think, wow, on a psychological level, it's never been more important to keep yourself on a level, keep yourself grounded for you and your family. Never been so important to consider your actions, whether they be online or walking down the street. You as an individual, what we all should be doing now, and I'm sure a lot of us are, and I get lots of love from my subbers because I know we're all in the same boat. We should be rising now, vibrationally, consciously, mentally, not descending. Descending is exactly what anyone, whoever it is that we are trying to be in this overall psychological game, what we are witnessing on certain various platforms is exactly what they want. They've sent a little schism out to the public. The public has never been so demoralized, as far as I'm concerned. Never been so. There's plenty of good things to live for in life. So I'm not going to bring you on this channel and tell you the world is shit. No, the world is beautiful. It depends on your own interpretation of what you see. In many ways, the world is going to crap. But in many ways, you as an individual have got the power to make your world as beautiful as you can be, even when the world is going to crap around you. And that's my philosophy. So although I come on in here ranting and raving, I see beauty in people. I see the beauty when I do my own arts and culture. I appreciate the beauty when people explain to me about their arts and culture, about their love and affection for other people. And that is really, it's the most human binary thing for me. It's just natural. So we could be in the most abhorrent of times. And as long as I've still got them things in place, I know I'll be all right. As long as I know the people I know and love are not losing the shit around me and I'm not losing my shit around them, pardon my French, I know I'm all right. So when it comes to then me projecting outwards like this now, I know I'm all right. And that's the bottom line, where Kool-Aid drinkers, they need to look at the streams, look at the way they're projecting themselves, and think of what you want to achieve and think, what did that stream achieve? And what's it more likely to achieve? Yes, Ditch. Mate, you're greatly appreciated. You know, I enjoy doing what I'm doing when I've got the time to do it. But at the same time, I love it. I love interactions like this. I love that we're all in the same boat. I love that in many ways, I've got a lot of support from you guys. And in many ways, I will support you till the end of fucking time. Pardon the French. You know what I mean? And that, to me, shit, that's how you rise. That's how you rise. You have friendships like that. You know what I mean? I don't even know whether Great Brit's on here. If he is, hi. How you doing, pal? Yes, Gerald. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, the next lot. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, Amanda. I think you've got a point, though. You've certainly got a point with the psychological levels that are at fever pitch now. I've had people in work who were normally happy-go-lucky, and one of them yesterday just couldn't get his head around it. He was like that, just because of it all. Not depressed, but just relaying it all because it's so upside down in it, and you live in it, you breathe in it. So we're red-pilled, conscious. What about the people who are not red-pilled? What about the people who are not conscious? They're the ones I'm worried about more than anything, because they're the ones that are more susceptible to be getting manipulated the way that seems to be happening, and be probably more detrimental because they didn't see it coming, like being sideswiped, isn't it? You know what I mean? Mentally. You need some paint, do you? Social distance rolling. My rolling pole would have to be about what? Huddersfield, what, about 40 mile long? 40 mile long rolling pole. Yes, mixed race Bayesian. I am living my life as I always am and teaching my kids about this madness and letting them, yes, live a normal life. Boom. And you'll find you'll just circumnavigate all this shit. You can't control it. What can we control? As much as we feel about something, as much as I want to do a video about something, very little control. It's like Boris is not going to watch it and go, right, shit, better change the guidelines now. Red pill, Phil's been, really? He doesn't even know. You know what I mean? So for all the effect that I think I'm having, the best positive effect that I can have is to still maintain my compass mentis brain, to still have appreciation for other people, still try and guide people in a way that's trying to not let them lose their shit, because that will be good for them for the time that they're on the stream and the time that they then go off the stream and interject with their family. Imagine I spend the next 40 minutes ranting and raving and talking about this and getting you all behind me, yeah? Next thing you know, I unplug my computer. I'm going kicking the shit out my cat because I just need something to hit. You know what I mean? You guys are all running off and just having arguments all over the place. And I'm not saying that that behavior is incitement, but it scratches towards it if you're not considering the obligation that you've got as an individual. I'm representative of something, whether I like it or not. I'm doing this YouTube. I've got 2 Facebook channels and a BitChute channel. I am representative and I have got obligations that maybe I didn't want, but I freaking got them. So the way I conduct myself, the way I put myself across whilst I'm broadcasting is paramount for me, for me subbers, and for me family. So I ain't gonna get one of my family members but stood at the bus. Are you Red Pill Phil's daughter? Oh, I seen him on a stream. It's like, no, you ain't. You're very rarely gonna see that from me. I've done it in the past. I've learned, but not anymore. Hit a new vibration now, Daddy-o. Don't need it. I look and smile, but it's just disappointing because it's discombobulating to bigger populations when you got people losing the shit. No one hitting my cat. You know what, Anne? I wouldn't hit your cat. Don't worry about it. And I don't hit mine either. My cats are chilling all over the bleeding house. They will the roost. I'm just saying, metaphorically speaking, it's like the cats must think, shit, he's in a mood now. Soon as he says, you know what I mean, all you pissing haters, and closes his computer, I'm out of here. All of a sudden, I'm going to catch mice or something. So no, your cat's safe. Don't worry about it. Go on, Brian. How you doing, mate? Well, some might consider it. No animal. I know. Look, I'm getting it now. Well, look, see what I mean? I only created a hypothetical, guys. It was a hypothetical cat cruelty. It wasn't actually legible, but I understand the mere thought of hypothetical abuse of cats. It's like, thought police are out already. See, so I'm getting marshalled. I'm being marshalled by my own subbies, and you should marshal me. You should, because I shouldn't be hypothetically trying to abuse my cats. No matter what they've done or not done, I've got to hold my shit together. You skip what's have I skipped past any? Let me have a looky. Have a skip. What's are you talking to me there, bro? Or this is truth. Yes. Here we go. Some profound wisdom here from Kenneth Noel Curran. Shine the light and share the truth. Seek the knowledge, pursue wisdom, guide the youth. Yes. Onward, upward, forward. Man, profound shizzle. If I have ever heard it. You're a star, you're all stars. And honestly, this is like just a rational stream. And I've just gone on off a tangent, and I've not even spoke about what I want to speak about. And some of it will kind of make sense to what I've really started about. So anyway, guys, firstly, I'm going to say a big, big hello and thank you and how you doing to the Reynolds family. The Reynolds family in battle. Cara, Ian, Phoebe, and not forgetting Ella. Many developments within justice for our girls, positive developments. It is moving forward. Although, having said that, in the background, this family has gone through so much. It is unbelievable to try and get their story out. So, without really going into anything, I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I wanted to show my appreciation and love beaming out to the Reynolds family. Hope they stay positive, and I hope they don't rise to the game playing that's currently going on. So I wanted to say that. Now I've said that, I can say this. I've been asked to share this, so that's no problem at all. Hashtag Justice for All, Carlisle Market Cross Monument, Saturday, 17th of October, 2020, from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. Hashtag We Are Warriors, hashtag Justice for Our Girls, hashtag Justice for Ella, hashtag Save Our Children, hashtag PAG UK Cumbria, and what's that last one? Hashtag Put Feet on the ground, is it? The graphics on that don't make it that easy to read, and I know my eyes are done as well, so that don't make it easy as well. But this is an event that will be going on. It's up to you guys whether you choose to attend. Supporting the abuse of children is always at the front of my mind, and even with what is happening now, save our children. Look at the conditioning that is currently steering where the future generation are going to go. Look at the manipulation that's currently choosing to mentally shift your kids probably away from your thought processes somewhat, and make your parental skills somewhat more difficult. That's what these guys seem to do with the schooling system, with the educational system, that seems to beat down their own narrative, which in a lot of times is probably counterproductive against the modern nucleus family. Does that make any sense? Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Well, yeah, it's a shame, innit? I've always said this, you know. Why am I outraged? Nothing's happened to me or my kids. But the bottom line is it shouldn't happen to anyone. Anyone. Whether you're talking male rape, female rape, whether you talk about grooming, whether you talk about general paedophilia or just sexual abuse, whether it be historic or fucking what's going on now, you know, it really is irrelevant. It's the most horrible thing you can do to an individual to violate them in such a way, no matter what the age of them. It's horrible. You can't really talk about it too much because it does send you on a low vibration to a degree. But all the positive side of it for me is to give survivors a voice, give them a platform, talk about events that make them feel that there's an approach, or at least trying to get some solace and some justice, and just mainly letting survivors know that people do give a shit. That's my main premise. So, you know, if I can't be at particular events, I'll always show and lend my support if I know it's done positively and in the right vein, and consider it. This is the most important. Consider it for survivors, i.e., I've seen a lot of events where they'll be proclaiming to be outraged and redressing for survivors, but then in reality, when you look at the actions, you look at the things that they've said, you look at maybe sometimes some of the speakers that they've had on, it's been counterproductive to the survivors. The way certain people have acted, it's been counterproductive to survivors. So everyone's learning, I guess. You've got to learn from mistakes, so you've got to try and do things the right way. But empowering survivors is paramount, whether it be male or female. I'm always about that. Where? More comments. Oh, on. 2020 has been a mega low year on it, but you've got to grab positives out of it, and don't let it do that to you. It's too easy to just do that. But I understand we've had one thing after another. I've never known a year like it, and it's almost understandable when you think of people losing the shit, because why not? You know what I mean? Why are they not losing it? Because on a psychological level, everyone's being bombarded from different areas. And, you know, on a psyche level, what do you expect proletariat to act like when they're being bombarded in so many different ways? So from this, it's seeing a light for me. That's the journey. We are where we are. When we'll get back is anyone's guess, but we are where we are. So it's on an individual level. What does the individual, i.e. me or yourself, have to do to make sure that you're still mentally sweet, you're still protecting your family financially and physically and mentally, and psychologically, whatever way, you know what I mean? That you've got all the needs catered, and you're looking after your nearest, dearest, your neighbours, and the community vibe and spirit. I think they're the important lessons to grab from this, and I think I've seen many people display that, and it transcends. It truly transcends all this crap. Two people totally connecting, even on this, through these times now. You bonded on a subject that you both enjoy. All of a sudden, COVID's not important. You know what I mean? So it's the question of, do you allow that psychological schism to become the priority in your life? The consumption of your life? Or do you grab your life back? You know what I mean? Boris is trying to take it away, whether he feels he's doing the right thing or not. They all are. They're all trying to take it away. They try to restrict. They try to throw more and more low shit on you. You know, you can go out, you can't go out. You can go, but not more than 6. You can go to a bar. Well, now you can't. Well, now it's till 10 o'clock. We're going to subsidize you for it. Well, now we're not going to subsidize. It's like, fucking hell. One thing after another. So even the most innocent, law-abiding individual is going to be like, I've had enough of this. The alcoholism's going to go up. Probably being more reclusive is going to go up. Anxiety levels is going to go up. And COVID deaths are going down. What comes next? Change the story, change the lead. Well, it's your own thing, isn't it? What you make your own story. So even though I'm living in what is a massive shit show, and we all are, but as long as I live my life on a positive level, I still try and pump out a positive character to people. I try and help people where I can. I try and do right by people where I can. Boom. I know I'm going to witness many people that are not going to be able to do that. Going back to these lovely ladies, Jupiter. If anyone knows Jupiter, please let her know that I'm on the warpath. I want to bring her on the stream. But these guys, they had to put up with a little bit of crap from one of the debaters when they were on this stream. And now, for all my French Anglo frigging dialect, stroke Miles Platin dialect, I constantly try and mediate myself, measure it. Even if I'll slip a word out, I can't help it. The Miles Platin, you know, certain times when I talk, I get passionate. When I get passionate, it's like the DeLorean's parked outside. Boom, before you know it, fuck that, straight back to 1980s Miles Platin. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, whoa, pardon my French. Constantly try to measure myself. The one word I've never used, and I'm not going to use it here either, can't kill the spirit. Yes, exactly, Kenneth. Exactly. And you know what? Liberty does that. Liberty, having no fear, does that. Fuck him. Pardon my French. Look, DeLorean again. The one thing I'll do, I'll never use the 4-letter C word. And I think probably the biggest reason, well, 2. 1, because I don't like it. Out of all the words, it's a really ugly one. And 2, the wife hates it even more than I do, right? So for all my little Miles Platin revisits through conversations, if I go near the C word, yeah, we'll see. My voice is going to be a higher pitch all of a sudden, I'm telling you. So the only way I've been able to actually say it in the past, and it was from guys that I'd been working with, Scousers, years ago, funniest guys I was working with, and they sung me a song, and the song contained that. But I've got to sing it. The first line is what I always sing to the wife if I'm going to do it, right? And she knows the beginning of the sentence, and she knows the end of it. She knows what I'm trying to do within it, and she thinks it's very childish, and she's never amused when I do it. But legally, she can't really go there because I didn't say the word. Do you understand what I mean? So I'll say to her, he's a cunt, he's a cunt, he's a cunt, he's a country farmer with hair on his knob, on his knobbalinis. And she looks at me and goes, I know why you done that. I know, pack it in, right? But I'll never use that word. I just won't. So these ladies were called it by a guy on the stream. And I'm like, man, even when they were called it, they still held themselves together. They held decorum. And they gave it him back in a way that was very respectful. In a way. There is one YouTube channel person who calls women the C word. What? Why? Really? I mean, that probably brings me round to something else I really wanted to talk about. But for me, as people know, I love all people. I don't care, right? But if you're going to ask me, I've got more of an affinity towards women on a chivalry level. I have. And not to say that you can't get women wrong-uns. Myra Hindley tells you that. Of course, I know that. The bottom line is, I know what I'm capable of as a man, physically, mentally. And I know what my wife is capable of physically and mentally. And I think, man, we're so different, but we work so well together. There's so much that she can do that I can't do, that she leaves me behind on. And there's so much that I can do that she ain't got a chance. And I always play a use in this house when it comes to catching freaking dragonflies, because I've got 3 women. Like, really? You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Mr. Testosterone comes with his jar and his bit of card and starts running, chasing the women around the house with a fucking dragonfly in a jar. Yeah. So, anyway, digressing. Oh, yes, Steve-O. Yes. Just helping any way you can. Hello, a smile, a joke, every bit. And you know what? Because everyone's so... People are going to be wondering now on how to interact with one another, aren't they? You know, we're always known for being a friendly nation. How you doing? Unless you're down in London, no one gives a shit. But up in the north, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? We're more chilled out. Even though you got grumpy people up here as well. But generally now, because everyone's been so battered with the moral state, you know, demoralized all over the place now. And they're seeing it, they're being physical manifestations of it. I ultimately think sometimes when I'm going around the streets, I think, are people wary of interacting with one another again? Because it's almost, I'm not saying that as a majority, because I can't say that, but it's almost like people just don't want to, you know, they're kind of staying out of people's shit now. And it's like, man, if you were a leader, shouldn't you be doing the opposite? I mean, COVID, whatever's going on, you know, certainly don't think the implementations and the current logistics and guidelines that are in place is the answer. No, I think the numbers are way down. They know that. The testing is up, so that means the cases are going to be fucking up. What type of COVID they've got is another matter. But I'm not a COVID denier by any means. I'm still adhering to people who consider themselves vulnerable. I won't disrespect them. But at the same time, vulnerable people need to realize as well of the current guidelines and how it's affecting the whole population. Personally, if vulnerable people could have been isolated right at the beginning, imagine right at the fucking beginning, no messing about. I know logistically it would have been a nightmare, but look at the guidelines, the way they've been implemented. Is that not a logistical nightmare? To get every bar, pub to acquiesce to stupid demands, to get every pub, every bus, every coach, every train to acquiesce to stupid demands, to stand by bits of fucking tape in the street. And it's like, if you would have addressed this aggressively, thoughtfully, and contained the people that would have been the most affected, we wouldn't have had this. But no, you listen to dickheads, pardon my French, like Neil Ferguson, and you get us in this. Yeah, to a degree, Caroline, and thank you for that. Thank you for that, because you brought me on to the next point, which is, Yes, just horrible, but this is what they want, right? And you think, that's a conspiracy, that, isn't it? You're a conspiracy theorist, Caroline, to assume the government, to assume political figures are going to monopolize on this so-called plan scamdemic. You're a conspiracy theorist, Caroline. I don't do conspiracy theories. I only do facts, right? So check this out for a freaking fact. Bad taste. Labour frontbencher Kate Green calls coronavirus pandemic a good crisis the party can exploit. Well. Not only is it Labour, but it is the body politic itself. And this, articles like this, is what really gives me a lot of mistrust with anything political, because they do not seem to really have the best interest of the proletariat at heart. There always seems to be a manipulation and exploitation. And you know what? Let me put it another way. We're being groomed. That's how it feels like to me. We're being goddamn groomed, and it doesn't feel nice. A Labour frontbencher has explosively described the deadly coronavirus pandemic as a good crisis the party can exploit. Shadow Education Secretary Kate Green said Labour should not let a good crisis go to waste. And you know what? I've got to thank Nicky, the frigging Pocket Rocket Locket, for this, because he sent me the link. And Nicky, I'm going to get back to you over this weekend, sir. So thank you very much for sending me this link. I didn't interject with you in the week because, like I just explained, my head's been on my music, not been looking at anything. I looked at this link and I'm like, you dirty mofos. But you know what? Shouldn't surprise you. I ain't surprised by that. Not in the slightest. Because fundamentally, when they say you might be paranoid, but it don't mean it's not happening. I'm very paranoid that I've got a very little trust in government, in politics. Because I have a fear that they do this. I have a fear they tell you one thing, but do another. You know, like the double speak, identity politics. These are all very living entities within politics itself. Can't trust it as much as I can fucking pick it up, pardon the French, right? So I'm not surprised, because you know from all the world events that has been going on around the world, it's about exploiting the public to nudge him into a position that makes it more pliable for you to use them, like a bit of fucking plasticine. So it doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me it's Labour. The Tories are probably at it. I mean, all this crap with all these guidelines, really? Really? Public are loving you for that, aren't they? And she urged activists to seize on the chaos. Fucking hell. To give the Tories a kick in on education and lobby for more cash for schools. So, what? So, when you're urging to seize on the chaos, right? Are we talking about anxiety levels that are going to be at fever pitch when you then put your fucking pedal down on the chaos? Instead of alleviating, instead of taking your foot off that goddamn gas, you're making people feel worse. Is that what you're saying? In order to get more money for schools? Speaking at a Labour connected event on Sunday, she said, I think there's obviously a real immediate pressure to address these funding needs for the crisis. But I think we should use the opportunity. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. We can really see now what happens when you go under-resourced schools, when you under-resourced families and communities. Do you want to get resources for your school? by shitting the population up, by keeping them in a perpetual level of fear in order for them. That is the problem reaction solution theory, isn't it? Not saying she's created the problem, but she's keeping that problem in place so there's a sufficient amount of fear applied to it in order of the acquiescence of funding. How the fuck do you trust anyone when they think like that? I'm being serious. If that was my mate, and my mate played tricks like that, they won't be my mate anymore. If that is someone who is a politician who is supposed to be politically representing my best needs, what the hell is that? That's telling you you're being gamed. Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's the revolutionary way of getting their aims across, innit? You know what I mean? I'm all up for funding more schools if it needs more money. I'm all up for funding the NHS if it needs it. I'm up for getting people to a prosperity level. So if we need it, we need it. You've got to then try and find ways where you can generate or self-generate, whatever. I'm all open for numerous initiatives in order to create and generate wealth. Why don't you do something positive with the community in order to get that lobbying done for the funds? Don't shit them up to frigging high heaven. Empower them. Why don't you let them know with this extra funding, look how we can make this society. And if you're doing it genuinely, people will help. You then might get support in order to lobby against the government for it. Not when people are shitting themselves with masks on all over the place. Then when they criticise the government for bringing out the implementations and the guidelines, because they will, because the Labour, that's their whole position. It's not about the people, it's about getting at the opposite side. But then, on the flip side, on the snide side, doubling back and actually fucking polarising the fear behind it. Yes. Well, yeah, it sounds like a bit of a juicy one. If COVID has only killed 307 people under 60 with no other conditions since Feb, ONS, facts hardly deadly, and the 75% of all deaths are 80 and over, so why should... Oh, mate. We knew that. They said it at the beginning. The people that are affected are the vulnerable. Whether it be immunity system, whether it be a respiratory system, whatever it is, they can collate that amount of people. If you could do a track and trace on everyone, if you can do a census and get everyone's signature who's of age in this country, you can find out who, in your opinion, is the most vulnerable, and then go about getting programs to get them in place. And it sounds stupid, but it's an idea, and I'm just saying it spontaneously, and it's there to be slapped down because I've brought it up. But every area could have its own isolation area. The moment that we felt that the vulnerable and the weak could get this, boom, they're taken to that installation. That way, the economy still could have kept going. Any cases that come under that COVID, boom, boom, and then that way you've still got majority of your population still flowing, still moving, still living, not feeling like this now, not feeling that you can't go out anywhere, you can't do anything. I don't even want to go to shops anymore. You can't wear a mask. Well, fuck you. Seriously. I'm getting to the point I'm going to start growing my own bleeding vegetables. I'm being serious. If anything, what this is doing is forcing me, it's nudging me for the libertarian to step up and go, fuck this. It's time for you to dial back from this lifestyle, this matrix they're placing in front of you, Phil. You know what I mean? And that's what these guys are doing. It's not me. I'm not the one going down the rabbit hole and wanting to remove myself, run around the fucking forest with a bay leaf on. No, but I'm only starting to feel like that because everything I'm doing around me, they're curtailing me. It's upside down. I'm seeing people that are clearly not affected, but they're in the same boat as me, that they can't do nothing. I'm seeing people that are dying, that the family members, there's fuck all wrong with them, but they can't see them. You know, it's like, are you what? And I'm like, if this is normal life, get me a treehouse and get me the fuck out of Dodge. Pardon my French. So when Amanda's allotment, honestly, I so vibing off that energy of just going outside, doing your own little bits and bobs. Boom. Boom. Build a community. I need it. Common sense community, mate, don't we? Common sense. None of this shit. Oh, and by the way, guys, sorry, Katie. I was going to put it on again, but it's too bloody warm. Yeah, but I'll show it. Yes, check it. My new hoodie. I was sporting it on Saturday. If anyone watched the stream, Swinton. Yes, and it had to be red. Had to be red. Oh. Yeah, Panda. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, just with whole council. I mean, this is very disobedient behavior. But ultimately, we've got to remember, we are the 99%. We do relinquish any power we have by enforcing them in the role that they have. So mentally, I've took it back now anyway. I'm still a respectful person. I'm not anti-police. I'm not anti-establishment by any means. There's sections of both that totally need revamping, digging out, draining the swamp, all that kind of stuff. It don't mean now that I'm angry with every police officer that I encounter or any civil servant that I encounter, because fundamentally we are all in the same boat. It's the people that are governing them, the people that are making the bad decisions that, you know, your lackey police officer has to adhere to. And when they lose common sense because they're just doing their job, it makes them look bad. You know, we all have the power. We do. We do. You relinquish any power that they feel. Imagine, it's as easy as this. A march with 1 million people. Just 1 million. We've got fucking 60 odd million in this country. So it says that if you can only get a few thousand people, you've got a conscious problem. You've got people that are just happy living within this system that is manipulating the arse out of them. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You can't be mad with them. Everyone's on a journey. We were all there. How do you fundamentally change it? We're all trying to change something. We want something to be better. Don't mean totally fundamentally break the system, because I'm not a communist. I've got nothing to replace it with. I just want a system that's fair with people, that allows people to be people, to live, to love each other, and to prosper, and to help whoever they are, not to create animosity between demographics, identity politics. The body politics, fucking evil. Time to prick a conscience or two. Yes. I looked here and I'm reading and I'm thinking, what? No more than 6. No more than 6. So where's your 1 million man march coming from, Phil? Is that a bit of a pipe dream, Phil? Freaking hell. See what I mean? See what I mean? That says it all, doesn't it? Says it all. Yeah, we want our lives back, happiness. It's right, Caroline. Just want to live. You want to have that good vibe. There's always something to worry about. There's always something that kind of cheeses you off in the news, isn't it? But these few months have been like, there's just too much low shit to talk about, and you can't get away from it because it's on every news, it's on this, it's on that, it's on that. You've only got to go to the shop and you're reminded of it. You know what I mean? You go to the bus stop. I've seen people walking around the street. I've seen people driving the car on their own with a face mask on their own. And it's like, what do you do? What do you do? We are born free. Don't be fed up, Maggie. You know what you need? I've got to thank my friend Paddy, right? Let me tell the story, right? Tell the story of this. Now we're getting to fucking happier times. Because believe me, if you had half of this, you'd be feeling all right, right? One of my best mates, Paddy. Hi, Paddy, if you're watching. Years ago, when we were DJing, he was an MC, I was a DJ. We'd collaborate. We was in a sound together. We played various bars, bluesies, shebeens, illegal parties, all that kind of stuff. He often, when we was going out, when we was partying, he would make his own concoction of drink, right? Consisted of, well, I don't even know. All I know is that thing bubbled. You know what I mean? And he used to bring it. We all used to get together, group of lads, posse going out. He used to bring it in like this Indian kind of pouch that he could put round him. And it was like a horn at the front, and you drunk it, and it was like this saggy pouch, and it was full of liquor. Man, it's like, you don't smoke round that. Seriously. If you want to strip any door, just spray some of that shit on it, give it 20 seconds, and you'll be lucky if you've got a door left, never mind a coat of fucking paint. So he's come up with this idea of reliving his old punch days. So he's come up with his own little sideline. Paddy's knockout punch, right? Now this little baby here has got Ray and Nephew white rum in it, right? I think it's got dark rum in it. I think it's got ginger. And he's got some fruity shit in it as well. Now, he come round and dropped a couple off last night. And he's told me he's only got one left. He done a batch. And he says he's done all right. And he'll be able to do another batch and blah, blah, blah. So, Boris, it don't matter about your 10 o'clock curfew, mate. Within an hour of this stream, I'll be on this, right? I'll be partying by 9:59. I'll be in bed. I'll be in bed snoring because this stuff is going to get me there. I'm telling you. And then once I finish that, down in that. So in a sense, what we're talking, 3 parts Paddy's punch, 2 parts holy water. Fucking hell. Yeah, let's get the party started. Let's get the party started. Fuck it. Paddy's knockout put. Woo! Hoo-hoo! Paddy's knockout punch. Man. Ooh. Ooh, get that holy water in. Woo! Mitigate that shit. Wow. Paddy's knockout punch. Man, he's a good friend. I don't know whether that was a good idea or a bad idea. Seriously. My thought processes are changing as we speak. I feel like bogling all of a sudden. Fucking bogling everywhere. Oh, going on a mad one. Yeah, someone had me for saying stop using Boris. Yeah, well, it might have been you, Mr. Menza, and I get it. You know, I just say Boris because that's his name, but the Prime Minister, to me, it's not a psyop. I'm not demonizing him per se. Ultimately, the bottom line is, though, dude, he knows what he's doing. He must know the effect he's having on the populations. He knows that there's countries that are going about this better, more efficiently, that's not having this dramatic, detrimental effect to the population, surely. In some ways, by giving people money, subsidizing them, that is somewhat of a good thing, although that debt's got to be paid back. So you've got to be wary about that. Not many countries are doing a scheme like that. So there are good things, but man, I don't like it. I seriously don't like it. Just watching this woman here walking past the window with a fucking mask on, walking down the street on her own with a mask on. No one around her. No one around her. So why? Why? Please, someone, why? This is the naffed up bit that is really permeated down to the consciousness of the average individual that even they don't know what they're doing. When you're walking down the street and no one's in your vicinity, but yet you've got a fucking face mask on, what are you doing? Am I missing something here? Seriously? Do I need some more Paddy's knockout punch to get me back in the frigging zone? This body's got a clue. Yeah. That's how it feels to me. That's how it feels, Mr. Menza. You know, I think you're right there. It's the people above them. But you know what? If there's anything positive to be said out of this, and we've got to stick with the positives because I ain't going down on one, and I don't want you guys to do either. The amount of people that have woke up, the amount of whether you call them centralist, left, right, up, down, whatever you want to call them, the amount of individuals that are not even political, that all of a sudden are going, what the? Are getting it, are seeing that things are not right because it's affecting them. Now, going back to what someone was saying before, that if unless it's affecting you, you don't, or I think it was on a Stella put, unless it's affecting you, you're not outraged about it. Now, this is hitting home, innit? This is hitting home with the average individual, whether you watch YouTube, whether you don't, whether you watch Facebook or not, you're watching the telly, your life is being affected by it on every single facet. So it's been brought to the average person household. Abuse, even though we know it's there, isn't. All the other things that people redress about that are seen on YouTube sometimes isn't really prevalent to the average person. This is. And nearly everyone I speak to, let me put it this way. There's not one person I've spoke to that says I totally fundamentally agree with everything that is fucking going on right now. The guidelines, the mask wearing. I agree with it all. There's not one person, even people that are vulnerable and susceptible to getting COVID won't even say that. And I've spoke to a couple that are very vulnerable and they will not agree with what is going on now being the perfect remedy to get us out of this shit. So where does that leave you? Oh, she just walked back with a mask again. Fucking hell. It's what it is, isn't it? It's what it is. You're right, Red Eye Jedi, 420 UK. I did. And I was never on it anyway. When I started this YouTube, I was saying to people, I'm more libertarian. I'm not this right left. Don't put that tag on me. Stupid. For people to do that to me, you might as well just say, well, you're black, you go in there. No, you're left, you're right. And you get it when I first started this YouTube, the amount of times, oh, he's just a lefter, he's just a lefter. And I think you can say that if you want, but to me, that's a pretty stupid, redundant comment. He's a fucking human being. And the moment you start going, well, he's a lefty, and he goes, well, you're far right, you've both separated yourself. Do what Red Eye Jedi have done. Do what I've done. Get yourself out of that two wings of the same bird bollocks and get back to the point that we're both human beings. Can we talk about now? Can we talk? Well, you hadn't just got yourself, Caroline. Not sure what context you meant now, but you've got me. You've got all these brilliant subbers on here. So if nothing else, this is a collaborative stream of rational, balanced individuals that are scratching their head because the melons are currently being twisted. And interpreting that twisting melon section is exactly where we're at now. All right. Yes, Caroline. It's right, isn't it? Come off social media. I mean, you know, come off this when I'm done. You know, don't do it right now. Don't be too rash. Fucking hell. But yeah, no, it's right. And that, you know, the beauty, the one thing I will say, because I felt it. I felt, you know what? Because I'm not doing a video on it. I feel like I'm not doing anything. No, you're not. You're doing more good actually winding back, injecting into your family as a human being, as an individual, and as a family member. So imagine the possibility when you then roll back out online. If you're having a little ding dong with someone online, Great Brit used to say to me, because he does this, he kind of has little chats with lefties and whatnot, but he'll get into them nicely. But he'd always used to say, I'd never kind of do a stream or do comments, reply to comments in one go. So sometimes I'd leave it overnight. Just say something. They might say something. And instead of me, right, fucking having this, you'd whatever. Go about your business. You know what I mean? Go and wash your socks. Do whatever you got to do. Come back in the morning. And then that has probably recalibrated what you were going to say. Probably makes it more intelligent what you were going to say. And then probably that will have more impact in actually trying to get an equilibrium between you two. Now, if that person doesn't exercise that and they just shoot back, you're a country farmer, then there's not a lot you can do about it. It just means that you've got a higher vibration, a more raised consciousness, and just leave them alone. You know what I mean? Yes, Mr. Menzo. Those who know can't sleep. Like, those who know can't sleep. Know what? Know what? Listen, those who drink fucking Paddy's Knockout Punch can sleep. I'm telling you. Yeah? And particularly if you're not having any of that with it, my God, you'll sleep all right. The problem is waking up. That's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? 2045. What the hell? Woo! Am I protesting tomorrow? I'll be protesting outside work, mate. That I've got to go in work. No, I've got work tomorrow. So unfortunately, I won't be. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get some footage of the event, and I'm going to try and do a commentary maybe one day next week if I can get a clean video of images of London, not just people's backside. You know what I mean? Proper decent footage. I'll try and do maybe a commentary and watch it over and just give my thoughts and stuff as well. Well, it is a fault, Lisa. We can't deny that. You do get the fear with the jobs. I mean, the wife and I were talking about it last night because they're bringing off this furlough scheme now, so you're going to get a lot of firms that are going to be sandbagging because they've only been keeping people on because they've been getting some of the wages paid. Once the government kind of take that away from them, they're going to be financially destitute and they're going to have to do mass redundancies, whatever. So it is going to be ugly. The unemployment will probably spike. You know, you don't know what to say to that other than you just got to try and be positive and see it as an opportunity if you can. Don't want to make it sound like I'm all right, Jack. I'm not. We're all susceptible. The building trade took a hell of a hit several years ago when the boom happened. Work just drops through the floor overnight. You know, no one was taking on, and if you had a job, you were lucky. Your money dropped down. The prospect of getting any more in terms of prices was a joke because they were like, "Well, you should be lucky you've got a job." So it will be a little bit of the same again, and also with the financial element of the subsidies. It's all going on a blackboard somewhere, and it's got to be added up. So I hear what you're saying. Same again, Lisa. If I'm going to grab any positive out of that, it's going back to being the individual, realizing what you and your family is important to you, realizing what you need as a family to make your family self-sufficient. And I don't mean growing whatever. If you want to do that, do that. But I'm on about just to function as a normal, ready working family, be there to support one another, you know, try and help one another. You know, I've downgraded my lifestyle to a degree, not out of the fact that I can't afford it, but out of the fact that, you know what, I'm kind of signing off from this matrix bullshit, and I'm a lot happier for doing it, and that will save money in a sense. You know what I mean? It was only the other week where I wanted to take the wife out for a meal, and she never does this. I always say, should we go out for a meal? You know, she's like, what? She's got the car keys and the shoes on before they've even picked my fucking wallet up. I'm like, what the hell? Seriously? So she actually turned to me and goes, no, I don't want to. So why not? You know, I love going out. She goes, well, it's all a big palaver, isn't it? You know, you got to go in, track and trace, do this. You got to have a spot. You know, you're watching them with a face mask on, and it's like it's not got the same ambience. You haven't got that feeling of being sat in a nice restaurant because you've got too much shit on your head reminding you that you're in this kind of pandemic. So she kind of said, no, I don't want to go. That saved me 60, 70 quid. So I was buzzing, you know, but the bottom line is that you will save money. There'll be elements of kind of, but it's wrong that our lifestyles are changing. But then you re-inject what is positive with your life. I guess I'm going around in circles, but in a way, Lisa, what I'm trying to say is, I know it sounds like you're pretty low, and in terms of the fear of what may come. Don't look at it like that. Don't, because that'll give you ulcers. You know what I mean? All you can do is what you can do, and I'm sure you've got a big, massive support network around you, and you will be part of a support network for other people. So just be there as a kind of community in the mind, just to be there to help people if they need it. And likewise, hopefully they'll be there to help you if you need it. Don't blame me. Who am I blaming? Who have I blamed? Come on, Caroline. Get out. Who have I blamed? This won't about me. Yeah, it's always wise, isn't it? Always right. Yes, yes. Wake up, TV. Wake up, UK. How you doing? Mass goals. I know. I mean, it's hard because I don't want to come across disrespectfully. So a lot of people, this is a fearful thing, and I've got to acknowledge that, got to respect that. But at the same time, I know the likelihood. I feel the probability is very low However, the fear is very high. And that's all I'm trying to say to people. I'm not being ignorant. I don't think anyone is on here. You know what I mean? We've all got a way of articulating on why we feel that this is not really right. And if the death count was exponential, we'd all have to shut the fuck up, wouldn't we? You know what I mean? Pardon my French. But the death count isn't. They don't seem to be showing recovery rates. Why? That's the best bit of news you could ever show. When you've got anything that's killing people, the first glimmer that you've got recovery, even if it's just one, it was naught before, now it's one. So there's something right. Now it's gone to 2, now it's gone to 3, now it's gone to 100. So why 0? What's that? You know what I mean? So it's like, don't run a number on the public. Everyone's feeling the doom, like, yeah. And it's understandable, but try not to. Try and inject positivity. What you need my mate's Paddy's number. Shit. Oh, no problem, Lisa. No problem. Muchas gracias for your support anyway. As ever, here, you know, I love and respect the bloody lot of yous. Gaslighting us. Who's gaslighting us? I have never won anything in my life, so I know I won't be catching COVID. Oh, on that probability, I don't think you're ever going to get anything. Oh, don't. Oh, what? Go on, Caroline. I'm going to chuckle. Yes, Gerald, you have a top weekend. You know what, dude? I'm going to get going. I've just looked up. My God, nearly 1 hour, 23 minutes stream. That was brilliant. Hope you've enjoyed it. Yes, Wake Up UK. Everyone go to them. I've been sharing to YouTube, but the target audience is the website live stream chat room where the people watch the stream. I'm stopping streaming on YouTube at the end of the year. Well, if you feel it's still working for you doing your website, then all good to you. So is this Jason, by the way? I don't know whether it is or not, but best of luck to you, mate. Best of luck. Keep up the great work. Yes. Yes. So, guys, I'm going to get going. Got a little party here. Light versus dark party. Fucking hell. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I tell you, I'm going to be on the moon tomorrow, right? So when someone says to me, did they land on the moon? I go, mate, I was fucking there last night. I was there. Me and Paddy and his knockout punch, we were bogling on the moon, right next to the crater, having it. Yes, thanks, Phil, and the rest of you guys. Always feel a bit better after catching up. Well, mate, we all do it to each other. We all try and help each other in it. That's the main thing. So I'm glad that you've took something positive from this, because that was the whole point of it. So thank you, guys. Yes, it is Jason. Well done, sir. Stay positive, mate. Yes, and we all should support Children's Matters, without a doubt. All about kids. Your kids. If you've got a kid. You know what I mean? Think of your kid. Think of the life. Think of your activism, your outrage, what you're actually trying to mitigate them going through. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Yes. Yes, Gillian. Yes, Stephen Evans is on the Friday session. I mean, good vibes. Yes, he's been on the phone to Paddy. Paddy's off to Stevens as we speak with his little pouch. So, guys, Wake Up TV, Wake Up UK, Children's Matter.news. You've got to follow these guys. Oh, Jesus. There's too many guys. Great Brit. Got to give him a big shout. The women. I'm going to end it with this, right? The women in activism, for me, who I have encountered, are some of the most intelligent, thoughtful, powerful individuals. Some of the men that I have encountered can be some of the most least respectful, unthoughtful, damaging, detrimental, whilst them thinking that they're actually doing a good thing. So I'm going to leave it with that. Hail to the women. Hail to the positive, matriarchal, rational, powerful, conscious women of this movement. That's all I'm going to say. So with that, guys, I am going to get going and get on my knockout punch. So with that, guys, have a blessed weekend with you and your family, and I hope to see you soon. There'll be plenty more content coming up within the next few days. Let me get this weekend out of the way and I'm back on it. Hopefully get a live stream with a great guy that I consider a very good friend, stroke comedian, Johnny E. Cole from the Black Country. I spoke to him the other day and he's agreed to come and do a live stream with me. So I'm privileged. For that to happen. So I'm hoping that'll happen. So that'll be next week, guys. So without a doubt, I love you all.
I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.
Even the pissing haters.
I love you all. 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 I love you all.